We had Daryl Ryder from Cleveland on the show earlier. If anybody was going to pick Cleveland, you'd think maybe it would be him.
Right.
He took the
Yeah.
Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the Browns.
He knows
kinda
them very
suck.
well, yeah.
Okay. He knows that it's a team that can't get out of its own way offensively. They struggle to score points. They have a hard time. Have they even gotten to 20 on the season? I don't believe
think
they
so.
have.
I think
so.
18 maybe.
Yeah, they're a mess offensively. Their only real shot at winning this game, I think, is if they somehow turn Jaden Daniels into a regular human and he looks like a rookie all of a sudden at Northwest Stadium. I see the Commanders' offense continuing to do what they do. Maybe not to the tune of 40 points per game, but I think they score 24 to 27. I feel like that's more than enough to beat the Browns.
Should be enough. They're averaging 16.5 a game.
Right.
Yeah.
Their third down efficiency, they're only converting 20% of third downs.
Right.
On offense.
They average 3.9 yards per play. That is pathetic.
It is, but they do average 4.3 yards per attempt rushing.
Okay.
And that is our weak spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where they could kind of take control for a little bit and scare us and sustain some drives. They're averaging 30 minutes time of possession, so it's not like they don't have the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think at the end of the day we should outscore.
The one terrifying stat, and I stole this from Fantasy Football Today, the show that Dave Richard appears on from CBS Sports. In the last 21 games, 36 opposing wide receivers have either gone for 75 yards or scored a touchdown against this Commanders defense.
Mm-hmm.
So, opposing wideouts always get theirs against this defense. And Amari Cooper or Jerry Jeudy could do that and probably will do that. One of them will probably do that, but is that enough to beat the Commanders in what should be a raucous home field advantage this Sunday? I don't think so.
Eric, you kind of pointed it out, talking about their offense or lack of production, 16.5 points. They are next to last in the league in yards per game,
right?
Only ahead of the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how bad the Patriots are offensively. They're in a complete rebuild. And Cleveland is averaging 246 yards per game. Washington is sixth in the league in yards per game, way over 100 more yards per game than Cleveland. So, like you've said many times this week, Eric, this would be a really bad loss. Even though I think it's going to be a tight game because I think that the Cleveland's defense will pose some problems. But based on those numbers, those offensive numbers, man, you can't lose to
We
that
haven't
team.
even mentioned the fact that Myles Garrett, and Daryl Ryder touched on this, he has a chronic foot problem, and he's got Achilles issues. He's not 100%, and that's their best defensive
even at
weapon.
75%, he's better than
Okay, I know he's a
99%
game
of the
wrecker
league.
when he's on and when he's 100% healthy. He's clearly not 100% healthy. And you know what? I couldn't envision saying this a month ago. The Commanders' offensive line is pretty damn good.
It is.
Well, they're holding up so far.
They've proven themselves through the first month of the season to be way better than anybody expected.
I was watching some of the interviews that Scott Abraham actually did in the locker room with some of the vets. And there's just a vibe, like he mentioned Bobby Wagner, but he interviewed Jeremy Chin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a vibe where these guys, they're not getting ahead of themselves.
Right.
They're not, all of a sudden all fired up. They're like, we're approaching it just as if we had lost 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I think that mentality helps. The only thing that would concern me a little bit is the Browns should be better than this. They were 11-6 last year.
They should be.
And Deshaun Watson, I know he's not playing great, but we heard Baldy, who looks at the film, say that Deshaun actually played his best game of the year.
Okay, that's compared to 3 other putrid games.
I understand
so,
that.
He played his best game of the year, but when you play 3 really horrendous games, even a mediocre game looks pretty good.
Well, he said that he hit what would have been a 70 or 80-yard touchdown pass. It was called back because of a holding.
Yep.
They should get Njoku back, although I'm reading Njoku practiced on Wednesday, then did not practice yesterday.
Yeah. He's trying to come back from a high ankle sprain. Sometimes those take multiple weeks, like 4, 6, sometimes 8 weeks.
Joe Witt said he's coming back.
Yeah.
We should have asked Ryder. Cleveland. We didn't ask him, did we? I was going to ask him that. But Cleveland averages 14 points less per game than Washington.
Right.
That's a ton.
I think so.
I just think that they're a team in disarray. They're just waiting for Nick Chubb to come back to ride to the rescue. That's not happening this weekend. I just don't see a lot of potential outs for them winning this game.
But I look at that
on paper,
defense,
it doesn't look like
on
that.
defense, you know a bunch of those names besides Myles Garrett. You know Zadarius Smith. You know Denzel Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know their middle linebacker who Washington, I think, could have drafted a couple years ago.
JOK?
Yes.
Yeah. Lamusa Korowoa.
That's the guy from Notre Dame?
Yes, correct. Yeah. He's turned into a stud.
Yeah, they're going to make some plays defensively.
Look, they
got Roddy McLeod.
They got
DeMatha boy.
They got blowed out by Dallas. They squeaked the win over Jacksonville. And they lost. This is all you need to know about the Browns. They lost to the Giants in Cleveland.
Well, Washington was close to doing that.
If Washington has designs on winning 9 or 10 games, this has to be one of those 9 or 10.
Yeah.
A home game against an opponent that can't score 17 points per game. You have to win this game.
800-636-1067 if you want to chime in.
Want to hear your predictions.
I get a little nervous.
Play that music,
I think we're all going to take Washington. I'll go on record first. I don't know if they're going to get to the 30, which would mean Drab has to
do some
kiss the
vile
toilet.
things.
What does he have to do?
Kiss and lick the toilet.
Lick the toilet.
Lick the Chapin Memorial
lick it or
toilet.
Kiss it? I can't remember.
No, kiss it.
Kiss it. Okay.
Yeah.
He's not going to agree to lick it.
A 5-second kiss.
A smooch.
Tongue.
Yeah. But who's sitting on the seat?
Everyone.
No.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't want Valdez's pimply ass on that seat.
Why?
You know what? Carlos from downstairs.
Is he allowed to wipe it down before he kisses it? Probably not.
No.
That violates the spirit of the contest.
It will be EB because he's the fan. He's the one who put himself out there.
You want me to put my bare cheeks? You've always wanted to be near my bare cheeks.
Hey, I'm bringing in stool softener, bean burritos,
Chili.
It's fantastic.
Actually, you know what? I do think they'll get there.
probiotics.
You think they're going to get to 30?
I'll go 31-23 Commanders.
All right, again, I want to hear your predictions. 800-636-1067. I'll go. I'm not sure we're going to get to 30. I just don't know how much longer this can continue, this explosion. I do think Myles Garrett will be a disruptor. But if we lose, this is going to be humiliating. It's going to be a brutal week. And then we lose this, then we're just guaranteed to lose by 100 to the Ravens.
Especially if Jerome Ford shoves it on them on the ground.
But I'm gonna take my guys actually in a little bit of a squeaker, 27-24.
Wow. You guys have Cleveland scoring in the mid-20s?
I think this is a borderline devastating loss if you lose to the Browns.
Oh, I agree.
It might even be actually devastating if you lose to the Browns. It just you're stubbing your toe when you have nothing but momentum.
Why talk about the negative possibilities when you can embrace the euphoria of 4 in a row?
Oh, I love Euphoria. And I don't mean the HBO series with Sydney Sweeney. I like the Commanders. I think Drab gets spared kissing the toilet, but it's going to be close. 28-19. Commanders on a heater.
Oh, that's a convincing win. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's convincing.
You got them all scoring a lot of points. I'm going to go a little bit lower. I think they'll win 23-20.
23-20. All right, behind the glass. Again, want to hear from you, listeners out there.
You know what happens when the 4 of us all take one team.
I know. Gets you a little nervous.
800-636-1067. Well, Drabby he'll zig because he's way behind.
Right.
Thought it was zagging.
Whatever.
I can never keep track.
Zag.
Browns 18, Commanders 13.
Damn.
So we only scored 13 points.
13
Just like a total dud offensively.
Well, you scored 20 against the Bucks, and they gave up 100 points last night.
Okay,
Browns got a good defense.
Our kicker, did he miss a bunch?
First game jitters. All right, yeah.
Jaden Daniels' debut
nothing counts
on the
before
road.
the last 2 games.
He's so poised. Then he had first game jitters.
I mean, I'm going to give him a little bit of wiggle room for making his first start on the road against what appears to be a playoff team.
He wasn't bad in that game. I think Kingsbury babied him a little bit.
Oh, totally.
Which I don't have a problem with.
I saw no red flags. I know some people were freaking out. I was like, no, he's fine. But they just didn't ask him to do that much. All right, Valdez, what do you say? And be ready there, Mar.
I'm very afraid of the spot. Yeah, I mean, you have the Ravens looming.
Yeah.
You have, everyone's riding high. The line has dropped from 3.5 down to 3. with all of the highest percentage.
Going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, going in the wrong direction means
that's just markets, Valdez.
I know. That means sharp money's coming in on the Browns.
It's a half point.
So I mean, it's kind of ripe for the picking to kind of have that upset, but you can't get off the blackjack table when there's a heater.
That's right.
You can't stop riding. You can't stop riding the wave. Right now.
Attaboy.
Plus, I need Drab to start smooching porcelain.
Certainly.
I'm gonna say, Commanders 33, Browns 12.
Now, the Browns did allow 33 to the Cowboys in Week 1, so they do have that in them to give up over 30.
33-12. Commanders victorious.
Oh, that's a
City's on fire. Everyone's talking about the Ravens game. I mean, Eric's talking about the Ravens game already.
Yeah. And Drab's putting on lip gloss to kiss the toilet.
Yeah.
Jakes, what's the minimum amount of points you think Washington will score that you feel confident them scoring? And don't say 3.
Minimum, no, 3. Come on. With
what's the minimum amount?
Daniels at the helm, the minimum they score this weekend, 20.
I agree with that.
20 points.
Okay.
That's their low water mark.
I'm trying to goad you into that $10.
All you're trying to do
is that too low for you?
I think they'll probably get to 20 easy.
Yeah.
If you want your negative,
if he said 26, 27, I would bet it.
I mean, I'm not a crazy person.
All right, I've got them winning 31-23. But if you want your negative scenarios, how would they lose? Myles Garrett is impactful. Maybe he has a strip sack. Austin Seibert comes back to earth, misses a couple of field goals.
He's the most consistent kicker I've ever seen in my life. All he does is
he just make them.
Well, let me just qualify that. He's the most consistent Commanders kicker I've seen in my life. He just goes out and stripes them. Stripe. As long as they're from 45 and in. He just makes everything.
Maybe he's going to have a resurgence in his career, but there was a reason he was getting cut left and right.
Okay, it's fine. You know what? He found his niche, JP. Found it.
All right, let's bang a couple of these calls.
Or he's been in a good groove now, and he's due to be Austin Seibert.
You know what I did forget?
No, he didn't.
Dustin Hopkins' revenge game. Forgot that sidebar.
Game winner, possibly.
You never know.
That would stink.
That would stink.
What do you got, Mar?
So for the first time in a while, we'll finally have a true home game. Crowd's going to show out.
Yeah.
And Austin Eckler will be back. He's going to have a big role. The Browns are a trash-ass team, and we're nice. Give me the Commanders 33-16.
Ooh, that's
we're going to be in here Monday.
Ball.
Yeah, we're going to be in here Monday having a great time. And unfortunately for Drab, he'll be in the bathroom kissing the toilet.
Nice. All right, good job there, Mar. Let's go to Bill in Arlington. Hey, Bill, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I think one of the things we've all hated over the last 25, 30 years is their ability to play down to a bad team. So I think this is an important message sending game that's truly, we actually think it's a new era. You got to send a message. So I look for the Skins to win, but I think it's a trap game.
So give us a score.
Actually, I like 33-16 that he just said. That sounds pretty good.
So he thinks the Browns.
I thought you were insinuating it was going to be a lot for closer.
Yeah, you said
no. I think the Skins will win, but I think this is you got to send a message because we've been terrible about playing down to bad teams for the last 30 years.
I don't even know who's picking.
He's picking
the Commanders. Okay. He's just giving
saying,
you a little
watch
historical background.
Okay, got it.
That they've had many letdowns over the years.
How happy is Mr. Bickle going to be if they're 4-1?
It won't be overwhelming because I expect them to win. So it'll be like,
but you'll be very
great
happy
that we're 4-1.
You'll just walk in with a quiet confidence.
I'm a little bit taking it for granted.
Yeah, right. Quiet confidence from Eric. I expect bravado on Monday.
No, but haven't I been I think we're good, but I'm not getting carried away yet. Our defense
hasn't been too crazy.
Our defense is doo-doo. But I do have faith in the offense.
It could get better.
You know who else is doo-doo?
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
I feel like he's going to go off. He played against us.
I feel like it's going to go off. Cakes has just been pounding him
he had 3 touchdowns
all
against
week.
Us.
He stinks.
Yeah.
Okay?
I hope so.
And the line is going to pressure him because he's got a makeshift offensive line in front of him. He stinks.
All right, let's go to
Can't
Chris.
lose to Deshaun Watson on your home turf.
Edgewater.
That would be embarrassing.
Chris, what do you think?
Oh, man, we roll 40-15.
Oh, he's
rolling. So we scored 40 again.
The only thing that scares me about this game as a trap game is the fact that Cakes is calling us so strong and talking down, just like he did the Giants.
I'm not the one saying they're going to score 40. That's you. I said they're going to score 28.
No, man. The offense is going to roll. The defense is going to be a good test for them, but they're going to roll. I've rewatched all the games so far this year at least twice after the original time, and I'm telling you, these guys are getting coached up. Yeah, Jaden is playing great, but they're getting coached up to the max. It's awesome.
I'll give you 4-1 odds they don't score 40. You want to put something up?
No, I'm broke. I don't have no money.
Thank you, Chris.
Hey, at least he's honest.
Thanks, buddy.